Hi, Jeanette. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. So I'm doing a Q&A. If you have any questions that you'd like answers to about being psychic, being intuitive, being doing paranormal investigations. Where's my pendulum? I'll ask that. Let me see. Alexis, let me see. I'll ask my pendulum. Hold on. I can ask. Hold on. Alexa, when I asked that question, hi Jenny, how are you? I got a no, then it went into a maybe, and then a yes. So for me, that tells me right away that there's going to be a lot of bumps along the way. But if you're willing to put the work in, then it will it can work. Yeah, you have to put the work in though. It's going to be a challenge. As a spiritual person, what do you believe as far as God, heaven, hell? By as far as spirituality, I think is separate from religion for me. And I am actually Catholic, and so I do believe in God. I do believe in heaven. I do believe in hell, and I've seen it. I've seen people who come from hell, and it's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty thing. Doing in paranormal investigations, I have dealt with very, very negative entities that I know are from hell, and they've gotten physical. And one of them slammed one of the investigation I did. We were called out because the lady got slammed against a wall and actually broke her arm. She had an open fracture from this demonic entity. And actually one time I was on an investigation, and I looked in what is it called? I don't know if it's a mosque. It's a you know where they like keep the big bodies, right? It's like at the cemetery and they keep the big bodies in a building. I can't think of the name of it. But I looked in there and I swear to you, I've seen the devil, and it was like freaky shit. It was nuts. How do you strengthen your abilities? Hi, Alyssa. How are you? People will tell you meditation, going to a spiritual teacher, someone who's already seasoned and well-versed in spirituality and in being intuitive, being psychic, being medium. And it depends on like, being psychic is very different than being a medium. Being psychic is like taking your intuition to like, it's on crack, right? So with that being said, like being able to look at people and tell their whole life story has been something that I've done my whole life. And that has not came through meditation. It's not came through any kind of developing or reading books or watching other people. It's just something that it's just what I am, right? So mediumship is when you connect with someone who's passed, which is very different. That's a whole shift in energy, and it's very, for me, it takes a lot of energy, right? So sometimes I'll be like talking to someone, and then boom, their loved one will come and be like standing right behind them with a message, and this happens all the time. But it's not that I'm trying to connect with them, but when I try to connect with someone, I really connect with them. Like I get on a very deep level. Yeah, that's cool. You can light the white candles, the yellow candles, purple candles to, kind of heighten your third eye, heighten your crown chakra, and to protect you with the yellow. And then the purple is your psychic intuitive. So like meditation with those colors burning are it's helpful. And, being a shaman is kind of another interesting aspect of it. A Reiki master, kind of being able to heal people. Hi, Terry. How are you? So I'm doing a Q&A. If you guys have any questions about being psychic, a medium, a shaman, a Reiki master, doing paranormal investigations, anything like that, now is your time. You can ask me whatever you want. So I hope that helps. Hi, Jenny. How are you? All right. I have been a sensor most of my life and had many predictions come true. About 30 years ago, I started seeing the numbers 1, 2, 2, and it's getting more often now. For me, I just heard that's a connection to people. That is a connection to people, Jeanette. 1 is like new beginnings, new paths, and 2 for me is like connection with people, especially in the love area. You're very, and I would say you're an empath just by like the energy that I'm getting from you. I don't know if you know that or not, but you're an empath and able to connect with people very easily. Hi, Eliza. How are you? Oh, you know you are. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, and it's just up to you how far you want to, take your ability, because you have the gift. It's just a matter of using it. How do I protect my energy and my aura from others? I'm an empath. Feel naturally gifted in healing area. Okay. How do I protect myself? Well, like before I do any kind of communication with anybody, like before I do a live, for instance, I'll use my sage, and I always I call on Archangel Michael for protection, Raphael for healing, and Ariel for love, and then any of my spirit guides to come forth. Make sure my crown is open all the way, and that I'm able to give the messages that I'm supposed to give. So that's like my first thing that I do. If I'm on a paranormal investigation, I'll actually envision myself and my bubble is like this yellow bubble, and it starts off like very close, like, snug as a bug in a rug around me, and it goes all the way to the room for me, and that's my area of protection. Sometimes if I know I'm going in, or I go into a room and I know it's a negative entity, then I will put like a coat of armor on, and I've needed it. I've had some pretty bad experiences. I've got jumped once, where someone like jumped into me, and I was like, I became somebody else. So that was interesting. Been reading about Wicca. My opinion on Wicca is that's just not for me. I think that, people will say they're like white witches. People will say they're witches, doing spells and stuff like that. I have other stuff that I do. It's not Wiccanian. So you, as a natural intuitive person, you have abilities. You just, over time, and I've known that I was like this since I was 4, to the first time I can remember this. So it's been my whole life. And I've how do I want to word this? I don't know. I guess you could say, I'm not going to say that. I've wished badness on 2 people in my life, and both of them went blind. So I didn't do a spell or anything. I just kind of wished it. I probably shouldn't say that, but I mean, to each their own. That's my opinion. If you like Wicca and, it works for you, then it's whatever you connect to, basically. Yeah. Jeanette, that happens to me all the time. All the time. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of, after the second time that happened, and it was the same outcome, I haven't done that on anybody either. Yeah. I've done crazy stuff my whole life with that, like predictions and knowing things before they happen and having continual deja vu in my life. It's like every time I go somewhere, it's like I've already been there, even if it's somewhere new. It's really kind of weird. Sometimes I'll have like a spirit step forward and I'm talking to someone and I absolutely cannot move on until I give the message I can't. And I've tried. And one time I was at a conference and it was a leadership conference. And I was talking to this person in my class and her grandmother was right behind her. And she was trying to give a message. And I was trying to like heck to ignore this lady, right? I went back to my room. They were all going out to dinner, and my anxiety was through the roof. I could not even function. I was turned on the TV. I'm trying to watch TV. I'm trying to get on my computer. I cannot shake it. So I finally called her. I'm like, listen, do you know someone with this name? She passed of this. This is what she looks like. And she was like, yeah, that's my grandma. And I gave her some other pieces of evidence that the lady was showing me and gave her the message. And as soon as I gave her the message, it was like, boom, okay, I was fine. And I didn't even go to dinner. I couldn't go to dinner. I couldn't do anything with them. My whole leadership class went. I didn't go. So my background is a nurse practitioner, and my doctorate is in leadership and doctorate of nursing practice as well. I started the first cardiothoracic intensive care unit in a big hospital. We did like heart transplants, lung transplants, all the regular, bypasses, valve replacements. We did ECMO, LVADs, BiVADs, all that crap, cracking chest, putting chest tubes in, coating people, opening chest, all that good stuff. Then I went to a level 1 trauma center and became the director of critical care and trauma medicine there. I did some labor and delivery as a nurse like 25 years ago. Gosh, it's been a long time. I got my doctorate in 2009. So, hospitals are ridiculous. Absolutely freaking ridiculous. They're bad. Very bad. Grocery stores are horrendous for me. Anytime I go anywhere, like I have to have my groceries pretty much shipped to my house because if I go to the grocery store, I will not remember. I'll get myself in such a panic because I cannot focus with all the people around. I can't do it. So I'll forget half the shit or more than half the shit that I need. I'll just have to get out. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Because if it's not like even the hospitals, it's like people that have their spirit that's around them and I'll see them and it's bad. It's really bad. Anywhere I go. Awesome, Jeanette. That's awesome. Jeanette, do you meditate? And do you have a spiritual teacher? Because that would help you. No. Even when I go to bed at night, I cannot sleep because there's so many people in my room trying to come through to me. And I've gotten to the point that I'll just flat out tell them, listen, I'm sleeping and I have to go to sleep. And I probably sleep maybe 2 hours a night, if that. If I'm lucky. I toss and I turn. Very much, Leah, yes. Because it's like you have someone constantly in your face trying to tell you something and you're telling them no, and it becomes like, it's like major anxiety. Yeah, Jeanette, light the purple candles. I'm seeing purple candles for you. Purple candles, and just try to, like, I don't know if you know James Van Prawn is, but he has some really good meditating music and some meditating exercises. Like one of the things that I do, especially before I go on an investigation, is like I'll pretend myself like I'm in this forest, but it's like a forest with flowers, flowers, and it's got to have water in it for me because that's like a cleansing thing. It's got to have water. So I'm going up, there's like this waterfall, right? And there's stairs up this waterfall. And you, as you go up every stair, the light that is at the end of the forest, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And as I'm doing that, I'm opening my chakra and my crown chakra more and more and more until it's all the way there and I'm there. And I'll leave it there until I give the message, until I do my investigation, or if I'm doing like a medium message. And then to close it, I'll have to go back into meditating, and I'll like go down the stairs. And as I'm going down, the light gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until it's out. So that's one easy thing that you can do to try and open your chakra. Okay, yeah. Look up Meditating with James Van Praagh. He has some really good, like, he could walk you through it. I could walk you through it too, but that's what I do that works for me. Because I definitely would probably, like, my ADD would kick in and I would start, like, thinking about way other things. I couldn't focus. Leah, it depends on who you talk to. Like, if you talk to a Buddhist, for sure they're going to tell you, yes, like you start off as an ant. And then, you know, if you do what you're supposed to do in that life, you start off as a dog, you know, and then from a dog, you start off as an elephant, you know, like you keep going bigger and bigger. Past lives, I believe that we do have past lives only because of like reading people. Things will come up that they have no idea about, but then I know about it. And like some people, especially with like Native, that's a big thing that I'll pick up on Native stuff. Okay, purple, Jeanette. I think everyone does have a past life, and they do also have a future life. You ever hear like a grandfather, grandmother died, and then somebody has a kid in the family, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's like grandpa reincarnated. It's like you know, just like him." That is what, and people, even in dogs and animals, the same thing. Jeanette, you could probably pick up if there's something in your house. And people, I had to just tell you, because like if there's something in your house, like somebody I know bought a brand new house, a new house. It was like 5 years old. And I walked in, there were two people in there that were not actually, you know, there. They were passed. And I was like, oh, there's a lady in the bathroom here, and then there's a man in this other room. And they were like, no, nobody, you know, we know the people that we bought the house from, and it was their house. So I got names, and I got the way they passed, and then the person who owned the house looked it up, and it was exact people. And what happened was the people that they bought the house from, it was their parents who passed in the house, and they were still attached to the house. So they're trying to sage. And my point is, like, if you're saging your house and you don't know what you're doing, you could really jack it up and make them pissed off more. So be careful with that. It's not like you sage and say, okay, just go away, or, you know, you got to leave. It's much more intense than that. And it can actually make the situation much worse. So be careful if you're saging to get rid of things and you don't know what you're doing. Okay. Is there any reason you're not be able to read someone? Nope. Unfortunately, no. I wish. I am able to connect with I haven't been able. Okay, here's one instance out of connecting with, I can't tell you, probably thousands of people that have passed over. I had one lady come through, and it was a daughter trying to get connect with her mother. And the lady came through, and she's standing in front of me, and it looked like she had black sutures, and they were up and down, like I could see her mouth shut. And for me, she's not saying shit. And so the daughter wanted to know if she was sorry. So I'm talking to her, and she was like, just a snide, like, nope, I'm not sorry for shit. And I'm like, no, she's not sorry, and she's not saying shit. So I connected with her. The lady was just like, not a nice person, and she wouldn't say shit. She was not sorry for it, and she was just something else. But I did connect with her. She just didn't want to talk at all. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Jeanette, I believe that because, especially if it was a house that they're very connected to, they don't want to leave it, and they're not there to hurt you or harm you. They're just because they're connected to the house, and it's for protection, actually. Yes, Leah, you can use any kind of sage. I like white sage. That's what I use for cleansing. Somebody else asked me a question. Salt. Do I believe the salt works? No, I don't. Hell no. They can get through freaking whatever they want. No, not if you're dealing with a demonic entity. Salt isn't going to do shit. No. Kayla. Oh, that's good, Jeanette. I wouldn't do it. Yes, I believe holy water. I believe holy water helps, and I do carry that with me. What is something that I wish people knew about life and psychic abilities, paranormal? So for me, I think I wish that people would be more open to it and not think that you're flat out fucking crazy, because what happens is, like, I'll say shit and then it happens, but when I say it, people don't get it until it happens. Like, I'll tell them, I need you to be careful with driving today, because there's going to be a red car that is going to hit you. So if you don't have to drive, please don't drive. And I'll give them the warning, and then they'll be like, well, they used to. People like in my family, my friends, they used to be like, oh, okay, whatever, and not listen to me. Now they listen to me. They'll like ask her, or like going on a trip. I did this. Like, I was supposed to take one plane and I didn't take that plane, and then they had like major problems on that plane. So I've done that. Like when my dad passed, I had this feeling of intense doom, right? It was a feeling of doom. It was this feeling that I've had before when people pass, but not this intense. And I left my conference early. I was at a conference in Arizona. I live in Michigan. I was at a conference in Arizona. I left. I had to leave. I didn't give a shit. And it cost a lot of money to leave. I didn't care. I had to leave. And my dad passed 2 days later. And when he passed, I knew it. My whole body went limp. Like I knew it. And kids and animals are way more sensitive to that kind of stuff with like spirit walking around. They'll sense it more. My dog will go flipping nuts. Yeah, that's awesome. My son's the same way, but he has a portal in his room. I have to take it out, and I know why. My son is 7, and I know he has the gift because he tells me like he can't sleep in his room, and there's things in there. And so when I went in the room, I will describe what I see. There's like 2 people in there, and I'll describe, is it a person that looks like this and that? Are they wearing this? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I see them. So I'm like, yeah, they're coming from this fucking portal. I gotta like close this portal. So I gotta get rid of it. I know where it's coming from, but he won't sleep in his room either. Yeah, Jeanette, I see. So the pendulum, this thing. So with the pendulum, this is like basically usually it's a crystal. It's mostly a crystal, right? So for me, like I have to connect with this crystal, right? So I'll put my energy into this, and I'll put I'll take the energy from the pendulum, and you connect with it. So like I can command the pendulum, like if I don't know if you can see, I want to just show you like a thing. Let me show you, okay? If I say pendulum stop, pendulum show me yes, pendulum stop, pendulum show me no, pendulum stop, stop. Okay. It's just like that. Like you have to connect to your crystal, and it works for you. And my guides are the ones that guide this crystal. Just like they guide my hands if I'm doing cards. And I don't need cards to read anybody. I do it all the time without cards. I do it for confirmation. Yep. My 3 out of 4 of my children I know have the gift. 3 out of 4. And the fourth one, I believe she has a gift. She just will not admit to it. Yeah, that doom feeling sucks ass. I get them usually from crystal stores, or mostly from crystal stores. Yeah. And I only use the one that I'm drawn to. Like, I also have, where's my thing? I also have rocks. I love my rocks. My rock. This is my favorite rock. This one I'll use more for like healing. And I have a white one that I use for cleansing. Somewhere around here, but it's blended in. I have a white one, a quartz. Oh, jeez. Hold on. Leah, I don't know how long your cat's been gone, but I got a yes, so let me know about that. Yes, and you know when they do, especially like I'll smell. The smells are ridiculous for me with my loved ones. Like I'll know what my granny smells like, or my grandma, my dad. And my dad is the one that I obviously the closest to, but when my inhibition is down, like I was getting teeth work and I was like put out, and my dad was like holding my hand, right? And I was talking to my dad, and my mom was in the room with me because I'm a big baby, and I knew I was going to code, like of course everything. Anyway, so I was talking to my dad, having this conversation, and he was holding my hand, and I was telling him, I'm having this conversation. So my mom was like, I said something to Mom about my dad, and she was like, "No, Dad's not here." And I'm like, I started arguing with her. Yes, he is. He's right here. Like he's holding my hand. He's telling me it's okay, Pumpkin. Like that's what my dad said, right? So I thought, I go, fine, then I'm dead. Good, I'm dead then, because I'm talking to my dad. So it was like a big badness. And then the dentist walked in, and I'm talking to my dad, and he thinks I'm batshit crazy. And I'm like, "Hey, by the way, is your grandma's name Ellen?" He's like, "Oh." Then I started talking to his grandma. I'm like, "Oh my God, it was horrible." Oh yeah, that's bad. It's much worse for me when I'm like something like that. Like if I lose my inhibition, it's bad. If I'm like drinking or something, which I try not to do at all, it'll be bad. Yeah. Hi, Victoria. How are you? Yes, smell is a big thing. I'm telling you. Man, you'll just get like whiffs. Like my mom gets whiffs of bacon when her mother is around. I'll smell my grandma. I know that smell. My granny, my granddaughter, actually, who's named after my granny who passed, just after she was born just after my granny passed, and she always had a sparkle on her face every morning. She had a sparkle on her face, and we're like, yeah, we know it's Granny. Always. And the granddaughter's very gifted. Very gifted. Like, I do that thing with her. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking of a number. What number am I thinking of? And it's like, or I'm thinking of a color. She's always, she's very, very gifted. And her mom is very gifted, my daughter. So my husband, actually was on one of my lives, and I told him that he was going to meet someone, and it was going to be like this boom, like whoa, and he was going to get married. And I kept seeing church bells over his head. I was connecting with his uncle and his grandparents, and I was, saying names, and I said, it's like, don't go to Vegas and like with a girl because you're going to get married. And he was like, I'm not even dating anyone, whatever. So he came over, and we went on a date, and we met, and then about 3 months later we went to Vegas and got married. So I read my own life with him, which I had no idea it was me. But yeah, so he kind of believes me. Yeah. It's and I have it like saved on video. It's pretty funny. 3 weeks. Ugh. Hope she comes home. Leah, just hang in there. Don't give up. Just hang in there. Just wait. It'll be all right. Yeah, he's very supportive, my husband, so. I worked with detectives all over the world on both unsolved homicide, and unsolved missing persons, and it's very intense work, and I have been 100% accurate. And I'll just see, if I look at a picture, I could see if they're alive or dead first and foremost, and then I'll start getting the information about what happened and where they are. And this is like all over the country, so it's not like I'll say like it's a road called like 14. It's a road, it's this road, I'll get names of roads, I'll get names of streets. I can describe the house. This is what house that they're in, and it's pretty crazy. I can also draw. I've done drawings of people as well. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think it's mind over matter, Kayla. Like, it's like if you feel like crap, right? Like I always did this with my patients. When you feel like crap and you haven't washed your hair in a week and you're a mess and you look like shit, you're gonna feel like shit, right? If you fix them up and brush their hair and do the best you can to make them look presentable and look nice, they feel better. And that's just simply a mind over matter. And I believe that you can get your blood pressure and stuff like that down through making you're consciously, like if your blood pressure's up, like consciously seeing your blood pressure going down and relaxing and seeing it go down. I believe you can do that. Absolutely. It's mind over matter. Oh, yes. He will visit him in dreams, and if he came to him, he would scare the shit out of him. And I know he says that he wants to see him, but I promise you, he's not ready yet. If he were to come and see him, right, the kid would be scared shitless. He will come to him in dreams, and when he's ready, he will come to him in the physical form where he could see shadow figure of him, but he will not come. He's shaking his head. Nope. He's not ready. And he'll send him signs like he tells me that he leaves pennies around for him. He shows symbols, signs for him, but he's not ready yet. Even if he thinks he is, he's not. I'm telling you, if you see people in spirit, you will shit your pants if you are not ready. In the first, I had to sleep outside my mom and dad's room until I was like 10, and then I could not sleep by myself. I slept with my sister because I was scared shitless. Until now, I mean, it's been freaking 40 years. 45 years. Oh Lord. How can you make sure your own gift isn't negative and toxic? Holy hell, that's because you control it. Your own energy you control. Leah, you can try meditation, and you could try working with a spiritual teacher, someone who's well versed in spirituality and intuition. That would be helpful. They can give you kind of tips to help develop. Yeah, Kayla's on the ball. She said she had questions for me though, so that's awesome. I love it. That's awesome. A lot of people just don't know, and some people just don't believe, and that's okay. It's okay not to believe. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that I have no choice because I have to deal with it. And even if I really want it to go away, it won't go away. I wish it would go away. So, like Kayla, in your energy, even if it's negative, wouldn't affect them unless they're an empath. Let me just say that. Because an empath is going to feel anybody's energy, positive, negative, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like getting bombarded with a Mack truck with energy when you're an empath. That's right. And, for me, if they don't believe, I don't give two shits. I don't. I only know what I know and what I've seen and what I feel and I smell, and I can I've healed, and that's all. I don't need anybody's validation. I don't need anybody's approval. I'm almost 50 and I'm way over that shit. I don't care if you like me or not. Like in high school shit. No. Just do you. That's it. Just be you. And actually, my twin sister is like deadly against us. She sends me Jesus messages all the time. She said I'm going straight to hell. That's my sister. So, like, I can't help it. I guess I'm going to hell. That's me. I don't know why I'm like this. I don't know why I was given this gift. I don't know. But I know that I have it, and I feel like I can help other people, giving like especially comfort for and working with people that are missing, right? Missing persons and homicide cases. Like that's a big deal. When the police and the detectives can't figure that shit out, and I can come in and help, that's a big deal. It brings a lot of closure to families. So I think that's good work. I feel like that's helping. Who said that? Jeanette. My advice to you is sleep with your pendulum under your pillow. That's how you're going to get your energy into it. I mean, you're charging it with the selenite, but you have to get your energy into it to connect with it. And that is, for me, I sleep with it under my pillow. Kayla, I would have to do like if I need to heal someone from past traumas, I would have to do like almost a Reiki kind of. I'd have to go through from their head to their toe where the area of trauma was, and then work on setting the healing for that, the healing energy for that. It's basically through energy. Yeah, it's hard, but Kayla, if that's what you like and that's what calls you, then go for it. Because it will become very easy. It will become very easy. Good, 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 good. Yes, Jeanette. That's how you're going to connect your energy to the pendulum, is sleeping with it. As crazy as that sounds, but that's, you're transferring your energy, and the energy and your pendulum will connect with you. Because you have to be able to control it, right? And you have to be able, like some people, I don't know, like I'm going to show you. So some people, hold on. If I say, let me put it this way. Where's my arm here? I want to show you. So if I say, so this is my pendulum, right? And I say, pendulum stop. Pendulum show me yes. Okay, good. Pendulum stop. Pendulum stop. Thank you. Pendulum show me no. Good. Pendulum stop. And pendulum show me maybe. Okay, good. Pendulum stop. 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 So that's just it. You connect with it. Hi, Christina St. John. How are you? Kayla, put it in your mind. It comes from your mind. You have to visualize it. Healing. Visualize the healing, and you will heal. Jeanette, yeah, if you can send me a picture of him, I can give you information. If you just PM me a picture, I can give you information. I know someone recently sent me a picture, and I immediately got the whole thing of it, and that was one badness. It's badness. Yep, that's fine, Jeanette. Yep. With my parents, I did. My mother, very much, especially after my father passed. But I would say before that, because I always told him like crazy shit that was going to happen, and it always happened. So they pretty much, my family stopped being skeptics, because everything I said came true. So they're very, very supportive, and they ask me shit all the time now. Yeah. The only one that's not supportive and just absolutely thinks I'm going to hell is my sister. And that's okay. She's very, very, religious. Not that I'm not. I'm very Catholic, but I still have a gift, so. Yeah. All right, you guys. Any more questions? I think we'll get off here. It's 10 o'clock. And I'll be on Facebook tomorrow night, okay, for readings. I just wanted to give whoever had, maybe if you had questions, the chance to ask me questions. And if I can help you in any way, I'm happy to do that. I'm here. If you have more questions, that you think of later, just let me know. We can do another Q&A. I'm happy to do that, or you can just PM me. And yeah, if you send me the 2 pictures of those missing people, I'll take a look at it for you. Yes, let me know. Yeah, that'll be a good transfer of energy, which is different than charging it. And that's what you're doing. You're charging it. You're not transferring your energy. You're just charging it. So All right, you guys, thank you for subscribing and turning your notifications on. Because if you didn't have your notifications, you probably wouldn't know I was on here. So thank you guys. Have a great night. I'm going to do my dailies tomorrow for the weekend and kind of really focus more on love. I'm feeling love. And Facebook tomorrow night. All right? Have a great night, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you tomorrow. The pic from you, yes, Terry, it was bad. I don't even want to go there. All I keep hearing is, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And if I can hear it, it's not a good thing. Yeah. That means I'm connecting, which is, again, not a good thing. So, yeah. Oh, gosh. I can't because they're all intense. I don't know that there's one that I don't know that there's one that I could say would be the most intense. They're all intense, Leah. They're all very vivid and very intense. Terry, did they find out anything else about him? I know where he is. Yeah. Yeah. There's water by it. Yeah. I just feel really, really bad for his mom. So, all right, I'm going to get off here so you guys can get to bed, okay? Get some sleep. And we'll go back at it tomorrow, okay? I know, both of her kids. I know. It's so bad. It's bad. Yeah. Heartbreaking. Senseless. All right, good night, guys. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.